What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what's going on with the PlayStation 5 UI. When will we see it? What it's going to look like. So I did a video like this on the PS5 store. I talked about, firstly, is it going to look any different? Why hasn't Sony shown it off? And we're getting things. I mean, obviously, we just had the breakdown of the PS5, which actually, I made a video on that on my second channel. It's already up, I think, at the same time you guys are watching this video, where I talk about some of the things we learned by them doing that. But this seemingly is the next step. To be honest with you, it's like the final step. The only things that are left for the PS5 to do as of right now, besides come out and besides being like okay, is the store and the UI. I mean, we still don't know. Now, we had like the leak. I don't believe it. It looks way too much like the PS3 for that to actually be true. Maybe it is. I mean, I could easily be proven wrong in a few weeks, when this ends up happening, but I don't think that's true. I do think it's going to be kind of completely different from what we've seen, but we'll have to see. So what's going on? Here we are, and I think at the time that you guys are watching this, okay, we're about a month and like 4 days away from getting the PS5, and we don't know what it's going to look like when we press the button, when we turn the console on. What are we going to be staring at? And we did know what the PS4 interface was going to look like at E3 of that year. So it's again, this is way messed up. This is not how I think they had intended it. Obviously, this year has done a lot of stuff, and the fact that there's even consoles releasing this year with all the stuff that's happened is honestly like a miracle in its own. So I do actually give both of them, Microsoft and Sony, a lot of credit. With that being said, they have, I would say, done up and down for sure, but I would say pretty darn terrible, at least when it comes down to this stuff. Store is an issue. We talked about how the store needs to be fixed. So the UI. Now, let me say this. Let me give a prediction first. I really don't think it's that far off, really. And it can't be. You want to know why? Because, again, in like 34, 35 days, everybody's going to actually have the system in their house, and we're going to just be able to turn it on and see what it looks like. So, obviously, that is the end game. There's no way we can go past that point. But in all reality, I feel like over the next 2 weeks, sometime in the next 2 weeks, we're going to get something. There's still the rumor that there could be a PS5 launch game that they haven't said yet. I'm starting to definitely not believe that because, again, we're 1 month away, and they kind of have to get that going. But I would say within the next couple weeks, Mondays seem to be, they always have been, really big news days. Same thing with Fridays. We now, again, this deep dive thing with the system itself, very important for more than one reason. And one of the reasons is, okay, well, we literally have now gotten everything. We know where everything is in the system. We know what keeps it quiet. We know how it's going to stay cool, right? How it's not going to overheat. All that stuff. Like we know where the SSD card, basically like the second hard drive is going to go. We know all of these things now, and that's good. That's very, very good. I give them, again, I talk about in that video, but I think that was a phenomenal video that needed to be done. Didn't need to be done right now. Could have been done a few months ago, probably, but still, it's a very, very good showing. And all we have left is you turn it on, and what's it going to look like? Now, here's the thing again. As I said in the store video, this could be a hot take or a minority opinion. I do not mind the layout of the PS4 at all. I think, but I will say this. I think it generally does come down to I get used to things, and I don't really, when I'm playing the PS4, I'm not like, oh, I really wish we could like change these 500 things. I mean, I'm kind of in the moment. I know where everything is at this point. That, I would say, is the biggest thing. And I would say when it comes to a UI with anything, those are the biggest things you kind of focus on or you worry about, in that you have to make it, well, first you have to make it look nice, right? Visually it needs to look appealing, but you also want it to be very user-friendly. You want people to understand where everything is. You want people to be able to get into certain things very, very quickly. And I would say this, from the PS3 to PS4, they did a much better job, especially when it came to the games. When you're looking at the games on the PS4 across like the opening screen, and then you can go into the library where you could see all the games, whether it be from PlayStation Plus, whether it be the games you bought, whether it be the game, whatever, category, they're all there. Easy access to the PlayStation Store. When there's sales, like big sales, they will put that literally as, the picture, like, how there's like the game. So I think they've done a lot of really nice things. PlayStation Plus is its own category. And when you drop down on the games, you get to see, are my friends playing it? What's their trophy situation like? Are there people live streaming it? I would imagine it's more things like that. You can only get like the settings, like there's like 17, 18, 9, there's a lot of choices on the settings. Then there's, multiple menus on top of menus. I mean, I guess you could probably clean that up, and I hope that they do as best they can. But in my opinion, again, yeah, I'll be honest. Do I know what all of the options are in that menu? No, and I've had my PlayStation for now 7, I bought it day one, so almost 7 years, and I probably haven't even clicked on every option that there is, you know what I mean? Or even when, I'm adding, a new card to the, to the PlayStation, so it, knows a card, whether it be a debit, credit card, whatever, I kind of forget how to even do that, right? So there are issues like that, maybe like a troubleshooting feature for the PS5, right? But I would say generally you want to focus on the games, getting into those games fast. The whole quick resume thing that Microsoft did, it's cool and all. I really don't care about it. I don't see myself wanting to play 6 games at the same time. I don't think I've ever had that, option. I've never really wanted to do that. I don't think that'll ever actually come up. But getting us in the games and really continuing to branch out the social features. So again, your friends, making that very, very easy to see them all, to search for them. The search is better. It's a whole lot better than it was for the PS3. But again, you can continue to get better. The trophies, well, we know there's going to be some big changes to the trophies in terms of icons, in terms of your leveling. So trophies are going to improve. In fact, there's even the rumor with trophies that they're going to be able to, I don't know if you guys saw this, where you're going to be able to monitor your progress in a trophy. So if you need to collect artifacts in a game and the game enables it, it'll actually tell you okay, you've gotten so many, you're this close to finishing it, or here's how many artifacts you have left based off of the trophy, which not even, not even based off the game. So that is extremely, now they took that post down, but I think that will end up being true. That it's extremely, extremely cool. So smaller things like that. Again, I think the live stream thing is cool. I participated in that, or I think that's actually a good way of saying it. I would, when the PlayStation 4 first came out, and you went to the game, or you could search on your PlayStation who's playing this specific game, and it was really, I would say, still kind of easy way of just seeing random people in the community, even a lot of way smaller, right? People that are they're small streamers, but playing a game, live streaming a game, and you could watch them. And I did that actually in the beginning. I did that for Killzone, to see different parts of Killzone, even though I own Killzone, but I wanted to see, want to see more people play it. I did it for a lot of games back then, and I've definitely gotten away from it. I don't really care about that feature now. It's difficult because for me, it really doesn't matter. I shouldn't say that, right? Because I was gonna say it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, how it looks and how it operates does matter. You know what I mean? If it sucks, it's gonna be very disappointing. It's gonna be very aggravating. And honestly, a thing like the UI can very well turn somebody off. If you turn on the PS5 for the first time, I'm not saying you're going to return the thing, but if you turn on the PS5 for the first time and the user interface is just garbage and you don't know where anything is, you don't know how to, again, maybe upload a card, a credit card, or a debit card to it, or, whatever. You don't know how to see your own trophies. The store is too difficult to get to. All of these different things. If that happens, I mean, you're probably not going to play it very much. Or you're either not going to do that or you're going to adapt. And I'm not saying the best people adapt. No, I mean, people will get used to it and, and figure out where things are. But some people will also they'll get used to it, but they can also flat out hate it. There's definitely a distinction there. Like I said, for the PS4, I think it's fine. I would even go so far to say I like it. I've also gotten used to it, so maybe there's a biasness there. I do want some changes, though. I definitely I want, but at the same time, to be honest with you, as you can tell from this video, I don't even have very solidified ideas for it. I don't think I had any going into the PS4 either. And again, I was really impressed with what they did. So at this point, man, I just want to see it. I'm sure the thing with the PS5 is there's going to be some smaller changes that, again, we probably aren't expecting. The news with this trophy stuff, the different icon and stuff like that, came literally out of nowhere, and it's not something that I really thought they were going to change, at all. I'm a big trophy guy. I'm sure, there's always changes they're making to things, right? I'm sure trophies were going to be updated and improved upon in the future, but I wasn't thinking, oh, this UI, we have to really focus on what our trophy, the trophy, visual looks like. Not really. I mean, honestly, they could keep it the exact same as the PS4 PS4, and I wouldn't be mad at all, okay? So it's smaller things like that. But as we've seen with Xbox, I mean, there are some changes that can just elevate the way you play, elevate how fast it is to get into these games, elevate, just again, the interactions between you, other people, and playing it, the share kind of stuff, like sharing your things. Obviously, Sony, I'd say, did a really good job with that for the PS4. I think they did much, much better than Xbox because Xbox is still catching up right now. So now it's time to take it to the next step. What can the PS5 do, whether it be photo mode, whether it be sharing a clip online or capturing a clip, capturing a photo, all that kind of stuff, live streaming. I'm really big into live streaming, so I would like to see how they're going to, if they are going to, improve upon that. Linking your devices. I always had a lot of trouble with linking my devices when I was first starting. Because when I first started streaming, I streamed from the PS4. I would either do it through Twitch or through YouTube, and it's decent. It's solid, but I definitely would like it to be better. There's a lot of actually smaller things in there I would change, and then, I eventually moved on. Now I just use an Elgato capture card, but if the PS5 is actually better, say, than my capture card, then maybe I'll just use the PS5, you know what I mean? So actually thinking, it took me 10 minutes to get to that point, but thinking about it, to me, and that's the important thing to remember. To me, like that small kind of thing, how you live stream through your console, that's very important. I hope there's some overhauls done. I hope there's some improvements done to that. And to somebody else, it could be the music. It could be how the game, the boxes look. It could be the store. And that's kind of the interesting thing that both these companies, Microsoft and Sony, do have to work with, or do have to kind of figure out, is there are going to be so many people that want so many different things. You're not going to nail all of them, and you're not going to make everybody happy, but you got to do the best, and that's kind of what UI in general, right, is all about. So pretty interesting discussion. You guys always give me better ideas than I end up coming up with myself, so let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think needs to be changed in this UI? What are some ideas of what you'd like to see on it? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. We're getting insanely close to 40,000. We can do it within a day or two. I truly do believe that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.